Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Tuesday. And so today we're going to be continuing with our Start with a Sketch series. So last week we started and we made the card off of a little sketch that I made. And then today I have another sketch. And it's a very simple sketch. It's this one here. Very simple sketch. It's just a jumping off point. Okay. And when I look at it, I think of a layer of cardstock, maybe some ribbon, a focal image. I put it in the corner, but it doesn't have to stay in the corner, and a sentiment. So I looked at my stamp sets and I was like, you know, a stamp set I have used is this one, Everyday Details, but I haven't used this image of the eggs in the nest. And so when I looked at that, I thought what colors would be appropriate. And I'm thinking pool party and pecan pie. And the reason is because I think of the eggs as pool party and the nest as pecan pie. So that's kind of my jumping off point. Okay, so let's get started today. We're going to make this card. I show you a little trick, a little technique. I'm going to do some water painting and we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying this series. Friday is Fun Folds. Tuesday is Start with a Sketch. So I have my cardstock. This is Pool Party. The base of my cardstock is 5.5 by 8.5. I did score it at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold that. Okay, so this is my card base. And then I have the other piece, which is 5 by 3 3/4, and it's going to layer on top. But before I layer it on there, I'm going to do a partial embossing folder. So this embossing folder is in the mini catalog, and it is Layered Florals. It's a 3D embossing folder. I love it. It's very deep, and so let's use this as our little trick. Okay, so I'm going to bring usually I don't bring it up here, but I'm going to bring my cut and emboss up here so that you can see how I'm going to do this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I have my folder, okay, and you need your platform and your gray plate, which is number 4, okay, so you need 1 and 4, and then you need this is for 3D, so this is my 3D folder, and I'm going to put my cardstock in just like normal, okay, it doesn't have to be straight because this folder doesn't require that. But I want to do a partial. So I'm going to take my gray plate, and instead of just putting it in normal like this and embossing the whole thing, I'm only going to emboss part of it. So I am going to, I do kind of have to have it a little bit straight for this technique. Okay, so I have that. And I just want to emboss the bottom part of this cardstock. I don't want to emboss the whole thing. So I want this top part to be open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my gray plate right there. And when I run it through, you can tell what I'm doing. When you run it through, it will catch the gray folder, the gray plate. Okay. And here's what will happen. It only embossed part of this. Okay, it didn't emboss the top part, which is what I wanted. I didn't want this top part embossed because that's where I'm going to put my sentiment, and I'm going to put my ribbon right here. Okay, so now I have to decide which sentiment I want. And I think I like this, You Make Every Day a Little Brighter, or Overjoyed for You in This New Journey. I think You Make Every Day a Little Brighter. I think I'm going to use that. Okay, so I'm going to put this stamp on my block. Now remember, this block, my chair gets stuck constantly. I'm going to use pecan pie, and this block is block I, which is a nice size block, but it's going to be retiring at the end of the month. Just giving you a heads up. Okay, so I got that inked up. Now I'm just going to stamp this at the top. Did I stamp it straight? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Okay, so I have that, and then I thought this ribbon kind of went well with the bird nest, and I'm going to add a little ribbon to this. So put a little adhesive on the back. Oops, not there. Down here, Trevis. And then I'm just going to wrap it around. Catch it on that adhesive. Turn this off. Just like that. Okay. Now I could tie a bow. I might tie a bow, but for now, that's good. Okay. So now I want to stamp my image. And I don't know if you've ever used saddle brown StazOn. Most people just use black, but this saddle brown is amazing. And I'm going to do some water painting. So I want to do this on watercolor paper. So our Fluid 100 watercolor paper is just a piece of it. I only need a small piece. I don't waste anything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to ink up the bird nest. See, my blocks are dirty. I'm going to ink up the bird nest. So you want to leave this, when you have a StazOn pad, you want to leave this plastic piece in there. Don't throw that away, okay? Because it keeps your pad from drying out. And then I'm just going to stamp this on watercolor paper. And look at that. It is such a beautiful brown color. Perfect for this card, for this image. Okay. Now, once that dries, we can do a little water painting. Okay, so I have that plastic piece in there, just so you know. I did not, throw that away. I just left it in there. Okay. Now, there are reinkers for those. StazOn pads have reinkers. They also, you should invest in some StazOn cleaner because they will stain your stamps. I don't recommend too much StazOn remover on your photopolymer stamps, but on these red rubber stamps, it works great. So, okay, now I'm going to take my water painter and I'm going to pull up a little bit of ink from both of these pads. Okay, so I'm going to bring a little water down. I'm just going to color. Now, it won't bleed because this is StazOn ink. So I'm just going to color the eggs a very pale pool party. Kind of like robin blue eggs. Okay, so you can see how pretty that is. Okay, and then when you want to clean your brush, you just take a paper towel or on your scratch paper and put a little water out and then clean your brush. Now you can go to the next color. And that is our saddle brown. I like that it doesn't bleed. Ooh, got a lot of water going on that one. Do a little darker around the eggs. And the good thing about watercolor paper is it's very forgiving. And it keeps popping and driving me crazy. Is that it, what was I saying? Watercolor paper, yes. It doesn't, you can move it around a little bit, so it doesn't just sink into the cardstock like it will on basic white or basic vanilla. Okay, then you can add a little extra darkness to these leaves. Helps when I hold this pad down, doesn't make that clicking noise. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not into noise. I think because I'm an only child and I wasn't raised with a lot of noise. Everything in my life was pretty quiet. My mother didn't like a lot of noise. So I think our house was pretty quiet. Okay, so there you go. Super simple. Okay, let me clean this like that. Okay, my brush is clean now. So these are refillable. These are our water painters. You get 3 in a pack, different sizes. you load them like this, fill them up with water or alcohol, and then they're good to go. So as long as you take care of the brush, you can use these over and over and over. Okay, now I am going to cut that out, and voila, it's done. I just fussy cut it. There's no die for this, okay? It's nice thick cardstock. There's no die for this. So just so you know, you will have to fussy cut if you want it, if you just want the image by itself. All right, so now it's time to add this to our card. And I don't think I'm going to put it down here like on my sketch. I'm going to put it up here. So I think I'm just going to use liquid glue. I'm not going to pop this up because I am going to pop this piece up. So I'm not going to pop this up, but I'm going to add a lot of glue because, as I said, this cardstock, this watercolor paper is heavy, and it's a little different than just the white. It requires a little extra adhesive. Okay, so now I am just going to add this to my card, and I think I'm gonna put a little weight on it to hold it down. Okay, and then I was trying to decide what kind of an embellishment I might want. And I have these. These are the red and green adhesive black pearls. Don't ask me why they call them this, because they're silver and gold also. But they were from the holiday mini catalog, and they're actually carried over. So they are still available if you're interested in these. It's item number 159963, and they're darling. They're little, they're all the same size, little tiny pearls, silver, gold, and they call this one green, but it sure looks blue to me. And you know what color it looks like? Pool party. So now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and I need my dimensionals. Where are you, dimensionals? Oh, here you are, across the table. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to put a lot of dimensionals on the back. I'm going to put one right there to hold my ribbon in place. Bottom, center, top. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's put one in these corners also. So we don't want this to fall apart, right? There's nothing worse than sending a card to somebody and it comes and it's in pieces. Oh, that's the worst. That and not enough postage. It's almost an insult when I get a card and it needs postage. I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay the postage. Okay, now I'm just going to put this on just like that. So it's got that nice edge, okay, because this piece was only 5 by 3 3/4. So you get this nice edge, okay, and there's our cute little bird nest. I love that. Very earthy. Then I'm also going to add some pearls, and I think I'm going to add gold. Ooh, I don't know. These might look cute, but I might get lost on here. It's almost the same color. See, they call that blue or green. It's so blue. So I'm just going to use the gold. Is 3 enough? Let's go with 5. What the heck? We're going to splurge on this card. 5. I love it. Okay, so there is our Start with a Sketch card today. Super simple. I hope you've tried the little trick with the plates and do a partial embossing. And that brown stays on. Saddle brown stays on. If you haven't seen that in the catalog, I think that's carried over. So it's going to be available next year also. If you're definitely black, but the saddle brown is nice. So thanks for watching today. My name's Trevis Bossler, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. Thanks again for subscribing and liking my videos. I appreciate it.